So we have an update on a story that I did a while back. You remember when I did the story, I don't know, a few months ago about Apple and how they'd been busted. That's right. Apple had been busted throttling older iPhones to try to force older iPhone users to upgrade to newer iPhones. Throttling is they would slow it down. Well, they got busted, and I said back then that I would keep up with it, and here's the update. Apple, from the Daily Mail, Apple to pay states, including California, Texas, and Arizona, $113 million to settle investigation into companies' throttling of older iPhones to get customers to buy new ones. It may not seem like much. $113 million is probably a drop in the bucket to Apple. And they probably walk over to their petty cash and say, all right, fine, we'll pay it. But it's something. And it's something also that now it is known beyond a shadow of a doubt that, yes, they did throttle older phones to get you to force you to buy a new one. That's some shady business practices. That really is. Let's read it. Apple Inc. will pay $113 million to settle allegations from 33 U.S. states and the District of Columbia that it slowed down iPhones to mask battery issues and to get users to purchase new devices, state officials announced on Wednesday. The problem, as is with most technology, as time goes on, file sizes get bigger. Back in the day, a 56 kilobyte info would have been fine. Dial-up was fine. Your packet sizes were small. You didn't have as much information. There weren't as many graphics. Nowadays, everything takes more memory, more power, drains your battery more. The deal with a coalition led by Arizona, Arkansas, and Indiana is separate from a proposed settlement Apple reached in March to pay affected iPhone owners up to $500 million to stem a class action. And I did a video on that, and I'd said if you had an old iPhone, you might want to look into it to see if you qualify. If you did, I hope you looked into it to see if you qualified. And I hope that if you did, that it got resolved to your satisfaction. A business shouldn't use those kinds of shady practices. That's shady. That's really shady. They shouldn't have done that. $113 million might be nothing to them, but it's something. It's a show of, hey, they're doing something. Apple in 2016 quietly updated software on models of the iPhone 6, 7, and SE to throttle chip speed so that aging batteries on the devices would not send power spikes to the phone's processor and cause it to unexpectedly shut down. States contended Apple acted deceptively and should have replaced batteries or disclosed the issue. Here's the problem. Replace batteries. When's the last time you could replace a battery on a phone without having to take it in? So what would that mean? That would mean people would have to take their phones into Apple shops because Apple doesn't let other stores fix their products. So then what? So then you got these massive lines at Apple stores. Logistically, it would have been just a nightmare, no matter which way you slice it. And that's the way we're getting. That's why I appreciate the right to fix movement, where they're saying if you bought it, you have the right to fix it. Imagine going and buying a car and they say, well, the only place you can take it to have anything done to it is the dealership. What? Okay, not only are you going to throttle everybody's business to one spot, which is going to slow down everything, but what? I bought it. It's mine. I should be able to take it anywhere I want. The right to fix it. You should have a right to fix it. Millions of users were affected by power shutoffs, according to an Arizona court filing. My colleagues and I are trying to get the attention of these big tech companies, and you would hope a multi-million-dollar judgment with more than 30 states will get their attention, Arizona Attorney General Mark, not even going to try it, said in an interview. Problem is, they're so rich, they'll flinch a little bit, And they'll say that they're going to change things, and things will change for a little bit until the very next practice comes along that's the same shady thing. That's business. It's politics. That's America. Companies cannot be disingenuous and conceal things. Let's rephrase that to what it is. Companies should not be disingenuous and conceal things. However, the reality of it is companies do it all the time. Apple, which has denied wrongdoing, could not immediately be reached for comment. They never admit wrongdoing. None of these companies, none of them ever admit, none of them ever come forward and be like, yeah, you know, we thought we could slip one under the radar. We kind of thought you guys wouldn't notice. We really needed to float sales because our products are pretty good, and the difference between one iPhone and the next generation of iPhone is not much, and we're kind of running out of ideas to innovate them, so we kind of needed to force you to buy a new iPhone, and this was our way to do it. So, sorry. You know, something. That'll never happen. Never happen. Apple also agreed for the next 3 years to provide truthful information about iPhone power management across its website. I've heard this all before. Software updates, notes, and iPhone settings. Yeah. And after 3 years, what happens? Yeah, back to the same old. Arizona said Apple's present disclosure and options are sufficient. The settlement states is subject to court approval. Man. These big tech companies will never learn. The only way they would ever learn would be through us, but that will never happen. iPhone users are addicted to their iPhones. Everybody's addicted to technology. Yes, it's been a long day. The multi-state investigation into Apple is part of a wave of probes into the world's biggest technology providers. At least something's being done. I mean, at least something's being done. We're going to skip down here to the settlement meat here. The settlement includes $5 million to Arizona, $24.6 million to Apple's home state of California, and $7.6 million to Texas. The latter two states have the nation's number 1 and 2 affected iPhone user bases. Makes sense. They've got a pretty big population. iPhone. Friends don't let friends use Apple products. I'm sorry. It's only true. Apple products, you can't fix them. They're more expensive than what they should be. All you're paying for is the name. My God, I've gone to places with Apple where they didn't have service, and I had great service. I don't know what the big deal is. Let me take a bite of an apple. I'll take a picture of it, photocopy it. I'll send it to you, slap it on the back of your phone. Boom, there you go. We'll call it an Appel. A-P-P-E-L. Appel. An Appel. Oh, is that an Apple phone? That's a weird looking Apple phone. No, that ain't an Apple phone, man. That's an Appel. An Appel? Yeah, an Appel. I can get you one. Yeah? Yeah. Just pull out your phone. Slap that sticker on there. There you go. Now you got an Appel. Perfect. You're paying for the brand name anyways. All I'm doing is taking my brand name and slapping on another phone, and bam, you've paid for a brand name. What's the difference? It's something. It's not great, but it's something. And it's better than nothing. And it shows at least something's being done. And, yeah. What you guys think? I'll see you on the next one.